morning, Lars. Can you give us a brief introduction about yourself and where you're from?
Yes, my name is Lars and I'm an art dealer. Originally from Denmark, I have lived in the United States since the mid-90s. And my company's name is Frederick Fine Art. We're not very specialized in one kind of art, but handles old masters from the 15th century through the 19th century and well into the 20th century with abstracts and non-figurative paintings.
Why did you come to the United States?
I came originally as a snowbird, but being here during some winters I realized that I found the climate for business, not just for sunbathing, but also for business, very positive. In Denmark, I am an architect, and I had companies in Denmark which are still running today, but well into my 40s, I decided to make a change.
Switching gears a bit, are business negotiations in Denmark more or less formal than the United States?
They tend to be slightly more formal. Here in the United States, it seems like networking and socializing is one of the keys to good business.
How are U.S. business people perceived in Denmark?
Well, in the entire Europe, or really Northern Europe, I have to say that American business folks are considered maybe to be slightly naive, which they actually are not. But Scandinavians, they tend to consider themselves more academic and more sophisticated.
In negotiations in Denmark, is communication more direct or indirect?
I would say more indirect. Like over here in the US, people tend to say it right as it is. They can even say it as a joke, where business negotiations in Denmark are somewhat more courteous and formal.
When negotiating, do people in Denmark think more in terms of maximizing their own personal interest or those of a group?
Now, that is a good question, and that is a big question. Obviously, in Northern Europe and in Denmark, people tend to look more upon the welfare of the group, and that comes with the whole political system in Europe, which still have those underlying qualities of social democratism, which is not entirely capitalistic. And one of the aims of the government will always be to support the part of the population which can't support themselves. So that's one of the big differences. Over here, the individual is in the center and government is in the background. That was actually one of the reasons I initially fell in love with America.
How is work different, the work versus life balance different in the United States than Denmark?
Well, in Denmark, people don't work as many hours. Over here, folks work much more. But the Danish, they claim that they do the same work and they are more productive within
Are there status differences between the wealthy and middle class and lower class incomes in Denmark?
Yes, there are, but they are not as clearly expressed as over here in the US. A lot of the Northern European countries have had a model of government which is called social democrats, and the whole idea of their way of government has been that few have too much and fewer too little. And of course it's a very nice thought, but it's not always totally conducive of active business and energized business. But there are differences, but not as big as over here, where people come from all over the world, and you have millions of people, and you have lots of ethnic minorities. Though in the last decade there have been great problems with exactly ethnic minorities, because people have come to Northern Europe to get a share, part of the welfare system. They come from all over the world, but especially from a lot of the Muslim countries, and that has created a lot of problems.
Was it difficult to adjust to the differences, the cultural differences between Denmark and the United States, business-wise?
No. I really got hooked on the American model of business right away, and I think there's so many opportunities for people to grab, even for people who come to this country and have only been here for a few weeks, actually have possibilities of making money right away. And it is not so in Denmark. Everything is very much government controlled. You can't get a low-paying job because the unions will make hell if you take it. So in Denmark, as a newcomer, you really have to rely upon public support. Whether here there is a good chance that you can get some stuff going.
Well, thank you very much, Lars.